federal workers, faith leaders, even civil rights activists, pushing back on President's Day against the Trump administration's funding cuts and layoffs. A number of separate rallies were held all around the district, and 7 News' Josh Chapin tonight speaking with some of those protesters.
The grounds in front of the U.S. Capitol were packed with demonstrators on this national holiday.
It's insane to really be at this point. You know, it's just pleading with the American people to just wake up and realize that we're at a level of craziness that just simply should not be.
Protesters like Brian Smalls, who lives in Washington, braving the cold weather. He, like most others, brought a sign with him that he calls self-explanatory.
He is putting out a lot of things that look good on the headlines, but when you read deeper into the stories about abolishing the Department of Education, taking away, more women's rights and minority rights.
Then there's Sue Miller and Ann Claxton. Sue is from Tacoma Park and Silver Spring.
I've been protesting all week. This is existential. This is really important.
They met more than 30 years ago doing humanitarian work in Senegal.
This is like one step forward 60 years back. Women's rights, LGBTQ rights, our work around the world.
Yet the president's actions early into his second term seem to have resonated with a lot of the American people, including John, who stood on the corner of Constitution Avenue and 3rd to voice his support for the president.
I'm ultra MAGA, and I am super proud of it. And, if you look at the other side, if Kamala Harris won, I legitimately believe we won't have a country anymore.
A new poll from Marquette University shows a higher than 60% favorability rating for President Trump's actions on deporting illegal immigrants and expanding oil and gas production. President not winning any points with this crowd, though.
We feel like he's taking us back. He's taking us back. We're not going back.
I also asked these demonstrators, Scott, about the plan to reduce the size of the federal government. All these demonstrators gone at this point. But Ann, you heard from Silver Spring telling me, quote, there are ways to do things the legal way, the constitutional way, through your elected officials. And Scott, we're hearing there could be more demonstrations planned for later this week, specifically on Wednesday. Those protests scheduled at Tesla dealerships will be following every step of the way. Scott.
Yeah, I saw one of those over the weekend in Georgetown. Josh, thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right, VJ's here.